What's up, guys? I'm Chelsea Hernandez, music editor at SWGRUS, and you're now tuned into my podcast, Time Out, where I have conversations with music-related subjects about their workings in music. Hey y'all, what's up? It's Chelsea Hernandez, music editor with SWGRUS, and today we have Trevor Daniel, who just released a song with Julia Michaels. Sorry. How are you?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm good, thank you. Thanks so much for coming on. Before we get started on the music stuff, I wanted to kind of get your background. I know you grew up in Houston, Texas. So what was the music scene like there? Like, how did that influence you at all in your music today?
Yeah, growing up in Houston, obviously, there's a very particular sound with Houston with the chopped and screwed stuff. And I really enjoyed that. And I got influence from a bunch of things, especially old trance music and old punk music and everything. But in particular, Houston, it just really inspired me as far as just slowing things down on tape and records and things like that. I really like this way that sounds and everything. And then obviously Travis and Don Toliver and Beyonce and everybody has taken it in their own way of inspiration and everything and just branched out and everything. So I'm just trying to do that with my own stuff. So yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. So how old were you when you started making music, and how did you start making music?
Well, I started like I guess I guess I was really young. I played drums at church and stuff when I was probably fourth grade is when I started trying to play. Um, and then I started I found this burnt CD that my dad had of this dude named DJ Icy. It was this I guess it's techno, I guess you could categorize it as. And I would just rap over those beats and stuff in 2004. And I remember um like I would just show all my dad's friends like uh and they were because I would be like, oh yeah, I just found a bunch of beats. And they were like, oh, this sounds like so and so's beats. And they were obviously, but to me, I just found these beats. I didn't know who they were outside of it just saying DJ Icy on there. I was like, yeah, he made the beats. But yeah, so I mean that was kind of the start of really when I just started doing stuff. But probably at 15, I started actually messing around with GarageBand and everything. And but that was that was that was on my stepmom's computer because I had this other computer and my screen worked this much. So and it was this program called Mixcraft 5, and the rest of the screen was all glitched out. So I had to minimize the screen to this much. And then when I would sign in, it would take 30 minutes because I was trying to make sure I clicked the user thing. But yeah, so throughout the night, sometimes I would move the mouse so it wouldn't lock. It was wild, but yeah, probably 15 is when I started doing it every single day. So, and I'm 26 now, so
Same age
yeah.
as me. Cool.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Awesome. So when did you, I guess, decide that that was something that you wanted to do for a living? When did you decide you wanted to be an artist?
I always wanted to be an artist, when I was a little kid and everything. Um, but I also wanted to play football. So
Oh, very
yeah,
different.
yeah, it's completely opposite. But
Yeah.
I really, you know, that was just something I really had fun playing, and I was pretty good at it. And Like, yeah, so
Why
that
not
was just like
football?
the well, because in like 10th grade, basically, like, okay, so ninth grade, I moved to Louisiana for a little bit for like, I guess like one school year. And then like when I went back to Houston, I guess they didn't accept my credits or something like that because
Oh, they didn't
like,
like transfer over or something stupid like that.
yeah, so basically for the rest of high school, I wouldn't have like enough time to do the athletics class, which was
Mm,
where football would be.
yeah.
So basically, I wouldn't be able to ever practice, which essentially means I wouldn't be able to play.
Yeah.
Um, so when they didn't accept my credits, I convinced my dad to like let me go into homeschool. Um, and then I finished school in like a year,
Nice.
and like yeah, and I like graduated early, and all the answers were in the back of the book. Uh, and they never asked me to show my work, so I graduated in like a year,
Oh
and
my God.
then yeah, I mean it was probably more like 8 months, but um, yeah, my girlfriend at the time, her and I would just like sit there and just like knock out all the work for like 6 months at a time, and yeah, and then I would just turn it in, and the like yeah, it was crazy. I don't even know how that like was legal, but I mean it's not, but what are they gonna do now, I guess.
Exactly. It's not like they can take away your high school diploma or something stupid. So
Yeah,
it doesn't really
yeah.
matter now. Um, but that's cool. Okay. So big jump, I guess, from football to music. What's your kind of like songwriting process like? How do you get in the zone and then like I don't like yeah, just how is that for you?
Um, I think it's all over the place. I don't really have much structure because like sometimes like I'll just write random things that I think about throughout the day, like in my notes, um, or like I'll say something like accidentally and like it's like a good topic, or like one of my friends will like I don't know just like say something that I like, that like I relate to, um, and then I'll just like jot it down, and it's not necessarily like a song lyric or anything. It'll just be like, um,
Just like
uh,
random thoughts.
yeah, just like random thoughts. Like the other day, I was in the studio, and like it was like midnight, and the session was supposed to be over, I think at 11, but we were still in there like making stuff, and then everybody started to kind of pack up, and then one of my other homies like opened up this beat. He wanted to show me, because like my other friend like sent him like this guitar that I really liked, and then he put the drums over it. And then I was like, "Yo, let me like jump in there really quick before we leave." And then my other friend, who was like engineering, I don't know if this is getting confusing. This
No,
is
it's
also,
it's not.
yeah, my writing process is kind of like how I talk all over the place. So like, um, but my friend Friday was like, he was like, just when we thought it was over. And then like I was like, yeah, that's sick. And then we just like made a whole song, like like based off of like him talking about like just when we thought we were gonna leave the studio basically. But
Yeah.
it had nothing to do with leaving the studio, but it just like sparked an idea. And then sometimes I'll just like if I don't have anything directly to say, but I'm like inspired right then, like melodically or something, I'll go in and I'll just like record melodies, and then try to get the energy that it makes me feel out. And then because I feel like the energy and like the melodies like tell the story like the same amount, if not more, than the lyrics. So like sometimes the energy will be there, and like I can add the lyrics later, and I don't overthink it so much. I'm not trying to match a melody to a certain amount of syllables or whatever. Like that drives me insane. Like I hate overthinking it like that because
Yeah.
and it takes too long and I'm like I feel like I haven't said what I had to say the right way or whatever. But
Yeah.
yeah, so
Interesting. Yeah. I mean, it's so like cool to hear how every artist's process is like different. And I feel like you're, it's, I mean, I obviously like don't know you, but like it kind of seems like your personality and your process match up. So it's interesting. That's what it seems like to me. But okay. So you released Falling and that like really took off.
yeah,
So can you like, and also by the way, congrats on that.
thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. So like, can you talk about that song a little bit, like the process and like what it's about? Um, yeah.
Yeah. So originally with falling, like I keep a journal and I just like write a bunch of like things that just are just like I guess poems or whatever they are. Like I don't really know. Um, like they're not necessarily like song lyrics or whatever. Um, but like the chorus of Falling was originally like just like this poem. That's why literally none of it rhymes. Like if you listen back to it, like nothing rhymes, except for like the melody,
Yeah.
which came later. But um, yeah, so I had this like just the chorus basically, but it was written out as just something random. And like I wrote it about this girl that I had been dating for a long time at that point, but I was just kind of like putting my headspace in like when I first met her. Um, and right before I met her, like it was um, like I was in high school and everything, so I was like this was right before I went to homeschool also. Um, like I just gotten out of this like breakup that like I was probably being like dramatic about as far as like how horrible it was. But at the time, everything was the worst. And I was like, yeah, I was just talking to my friends and I was like, I'm never gonna do this again. Like, I hate this, blah blah blah, like fuck love, like and and then I went to driving school, like, and she went to this other like high school. So I never like saw her ever because there was like two high schools in this like immediate area that I was in. Like you either went to this one or that one.
Yeah.
If you lived like in that neighborhood kind of. And
Yeah.
then so I never like saw her and everything, but like the driving school was like not attached to the school, so we just happened to go at the same time. And like we would like flirt and stuff. And then she would like draw all over my like instruction book and everything. And I would just like copy off her tests and everything. Essentially anything that had to do with something I wasn't interested in school, I would just cheat my way through it. Um,
Oh, look at where
but
you are now, so it's fine.
yeah, it worked out. Like so basically I wrote the song about her, but like hella years later. Um, but for whatever reason when Charlie like in the studio, like when they played his guitar, like and then I was like, yo, like this one for whatever reason, this guitar like is really hitting me. Like keep this one, like let's go. And then Casey started like doing some drums and stuff. And then like I went in and did like some melodies and everything. And then I was like, for whatever reason, like I know it doesn't rhyme or whatever, but like this little poem thing, like I'm just gonna say it. And so I started saying it, and then um, everybody just kind of like started like looking more interested because there was way too many people in the room. There was like 12 producers just like making beats and stuff, so they weren't really paying attention. Um, like so they were just like making beats and everything. But then like I kind of saw all their heads like look up, and it was really tight. Um, and that's when I was like, all right, cool. So I kept saying that part and like a few times until I locked it down. And then the verses just kind of came pretty easy after that. Like we made the whole song like from start to finish in like 2 hours.
Oh,
Like
wow.
yeah, it was like really quick and everything. And then I remember like being like, damn, like I was really breathy and like the chorus, you know? Um and we tried to take the breaths out because I thought that's what I wanted. And I was like, damn, like it doesn't hit the same. But for whatever reason, the breaths were really bothering me. And but then like yeah, we ended up going like the final version that we put out was like the demo mix. Like it wasn't even like the mix that we tried to get mixed by like crazy professional engineers. Like Edgar like just was in the room and like he felt the vibe, I guess. So we just went with the demo mix and it was
Wow.
like yeah. So
Wow. That's crazy. Like 2 hours of work turned into this like huge thing that ended up like, I guess, propelling you to where you are now. I mean, that's
yeah,
awesome. That's so
yeah,
awesome.
it was insane. Like like I think I knew falling was gonna be a thing, you know?
Like
At
in the
least
back of your mind.
yeah, like we all did. We all were like, yo, like this is gonna be a hit or something like that. But like at the same time, whenever I like think that way about a song, um, like I always try to like detach a little bit from it afterwards, after I like say it, because I don't want to like get let down or whatever.
Yeah.
But I
I do
also
the
want to like
exact same thing.
yeah, it's like a weird thing because like
Yeah.
I want to detach a little bit from it, but at the same time I want to go all in and like manifest it.
Mm.
So it's like this weird like in
Like
between.
pulling, yeah.
Yeah, I thought Wild on that project was actually gonna be like way bigger than Falling, but you know, like that's not really up to me at that point. It's not
Yeah.
my song anymore. It's the world's song at that point. So
Yeah.
um yeah.
Cool. Um, and then you most recently, like I mentioned earlier, released Fingers Crossed with Julia Michaels. How did that happen? How did you get connected with her? And then also explain that. I love hearing the process behind your songs. So
Thank
explain
you.
that for this one too.
Yeah, so with Fingers Crossed, um I went and linked up with Jason Evigan, who's one of the producers on Fingers Crossed. And basically like we had a writing session and everything because for a while I wasn't really into like writing with other people and everything like that.
Why?
um just I mean I just like
Or something.
because I have a very like unorganized like just go like type of workflow. Like I just want to go in and like say what I want to say and not have to hear any. It's kind of I
You don't want
realize
any
that
feedback in that moment.
yeah, not in that moment because it throws me off. Like I don't like the like recording to stop. Like we'll loop the beat like until I'm done, basically. Like I don't like it if it stops, it throws me off.
Okay.
Um, but because I try to like zone out and kind of like get in the emotion and like how method actors or what do they call it? Yeah, method acting, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
um like they'll just like really try to get in that character and
Yeah.
I'll just try to get in that mindset, especially if it's not current. Like sometimes it's current, sometimes it's not. Like if it's like writing about something that happened a while back and I'm not currently in that headspace, I really try to like tap in that way. I can like because I feel like sometimes people just say shit and like it just like sounds like they're just saying shit, and I'm trying to like make sure people can feel it too, and they're like yeah, I don't know. But
No, it makes a lot
anyway,
of
so
sense.
yeah, like well, so I did this writing session with Jason Nevigan and like we made this really dope song. And then I was telling him, and this was during 2020, like after Falling blew up, and
Mhm.
like I don't have a lot of features that much, um and he was like, "Oh, like, are you having any features on this next album?" And I was like, "Honestly, bro, I don't even know how to ask people to feature with me." Like, I would do so many more features if I knew how to, like, just ask other artists to link up and make songs.
Yeah.
But, like, I always feel weird because it's like, I've been asked to link up and make songs, and I don't really want to at the time. And, like, I don't wanna tell them, like, "Yo, I don't want to," but I also don't wanna be like, lie to them, you know?
Yeah.
Um, but, uh, I I told him about that, and he's like, "Oh, like, who do you wanna work with?" And I, like, said this, like, list of names and everything, and he was really cool with Julia, um, and, like, a few other people that I ended up working with. It's just, like, not out, um, but and those aren't on this project, but yeah. But, like, basically, he, like, mentioned he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna talk to Julia," and then for whatever reason, at the same time, uh like my manager, like one of my managers, Brandon, he was talking to Julia's manager, like, and it was like I hadn't even said anything about it.
Wow.
So it just kind of was like a thing. And then like the next day he's like, "Hey, like, would you want to link with Jason Evigan and Julia Michaels?" And I'm like, "What the hell? That's so weird. We were just talking about that. I'm down." So we ended up linking up, and now that we're finally to the actual story, um, like uh yeah, we got in the room and everything. Like, yeah, it was cool. Like everybody was super cool. Um, you know, it was like weird because I hadn't really chilled with anybody in months
Yeah.
because
COVID.
COVID and everything. But like this was probably like 6 months deep into COVID once people were like, okay, as long as we're all tested, we can do studio sessions and everything. But I was still like weird as fuck around people. Um, but like, yeah, so like Julia has a very like precise way of writing from what I like noticed.
Hmm.
Um, but like, so hers is like way more organized and she's very like detail oriented, but at the same time, somehow she doesn't overthink anything. Like she's very like, she just, she's great. Like she just knows how to do it.
Yeah.
Um, and then like Evigan's kind of the same way. Um, but like with me, I'm just like really messy. So I was like, yo, um, I can't think of anything right now. So I'm gonna go in there and I'm just gonna like close my eyes and just go off a vibe. And then I just like started like freestyling ideas that like the production kind of like made me think. And then like basically out of that, like my verse was kind of done. And then like I had said something about fingers crossed and like a mumble melody or whatever.
Wow.
Um and then like Julia's like, "Yo, that right there, like that's it." And then she like kind of came up with like most of the lines in the chorus like really quick. And I was like, "Okay, tight." And then so I cut those and then we pretty much finished out the chorus together and everything. And then like even in that session, I remember Jason being like, "So is this just like a writing session, or what?" And because at the time I was like the only person who had put vocals on the song, but she was there and everything. But I still didn't know how to be like, "Oh yeah, like let's make the song together," you know. But I
Yeah.
was like, "I'm down for whatever," you know. Um, but yeah, like yeah, I mean, I don't know if I really got the point across. I was just
No,
being
you
hella
did.
social. Like at the time, it just seemed like I didn't really know how to be like, yeah, I want you on this song. Um, and then so we got in a group chat after, and then I'm like, yeah, well, if you want to throw any vocals on it, and she was like, okay, good. Like, I was like, I didn't want to just intrude on the song or anything. And I'm like, damn, the whole
Mm.
time I didn't want to like make you feel awkward or by asking or some shit. Um, but yeah, and then like a couple weeks later, like once she wasn't like super busy um, her album and everything, she like sent this verse back, and I was just like, bro, what the hell? Like this is insane. Um, because like if you really just go in and listen to her verse, there's so many like things that you gotta like kind of think about, like, but they're just so good. Like save all of our reservations for date night. That's insane. Like if you really think about it, like that shit's like a really fire line. Like, but yeah, that was a really dope session. I learned a ton just by like watching how they like think in their creative process and everything.
Yeah,
And yeah, so yeah, it was tight.
nice. Um, so like I first of all, I love the music video.
Thank
Um,
you.
yeah, who whose idea was it? And also, this is probably a question that just I have and nobody else really cares about. But like, were you and Julia like, was that filmed separately or was it filmed at the same time with both of you guys and just like different, you know,
Yeah.
angles or?
Yeah, we were there. Basically, like, so the video, basically, we just kind of like explained everything to the director, who's like my creative director, and like I really feel like he's tapped in and really knows exactly what I want. Like, because I had a bunch of mood boards on Pinterest basically, and then in Dropbox and everything, and like 95% of it was already like his work. Um, so or things that he had worked on, and so we were just like, fuck it, let's go to the source, you know. Um, and so when we when Grant and I talk about things, he's like, I can just kind of say random shit that comes to my mind, and I don't have to organize it, and he'll just get it. And like so basically it was kind of like that with the music video. I just like explained like the song and like visually where I wanted to go. And then he brought back this idea to Julie and I. And then at first we were like, the hospital, maybe it's like too soon, you know,
Yeah.
like with everything. But then we were just like, fuck it, let's run it. And because we also thought about a school, and then we're like, nah, like that's equally as traumatizing. But yeah, so we just ran it, and like while we shot the video, um, like we were both there. Like some scenes, like I would like kind of step out or whatever, and she would be, sorry, someone's calling me.
Oh, no,
Let
it's
me,
fine.
Elk City, Oklahoma. What is that? Um, how do I get back to the screen? Okay, yeah, basically, yeah, we were there the whole time, and um, we wanted to do the split screen thing to kind of like just show like different like sides of like point of views and stuff. At least um like because in every situation there's like two sides of the story and everything. Um, and that's kind of like an underlying tone of the song that's not really like expressed in like the clearest way.
Mhm.
Um, and it's not in the video, it's not like super clear either, but that's really what it meant. Um, and then at the end, it's like this like circle, like basically dude sat in a chair with the camera, and this other guy was like spinning him, and it was like getting this like both of us just like going round and round, and that's just kind of like blending all of this shit that like we had been through and just kind of like doing it like and just going, you know.
Yeah.
Um, so that's pretty much what I hope that makes sense.
It does.
Um,
You don't have to ask. Look, I mean, at least it makes sense to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm like
oh, yeah.
on the same chaotic wavelength as you.
Yeah.
So it makes sense to me. But
Yeah.
yeah. And you're doing some festivals coming up. Will that be the first
hmm
time that you're like that you perform in public, like in front of people?
No, I've done a few shows. Basically, like the first shows that I really count as shows that weren't just like one of my friends, like or two of my friends in the crowd. Um, like I opened up for Young Pinch in 2018. Um, like like he asked me to open up for him. Uh, it was me, Tyler Yahweh, and Young Pinch. We just all like did the tour, and that was really cool because nobody knew my music, so everybody was just like standing there for like most of the tour, um, until sort of like the end of my set when they kind of caught the vibe and they were like, okay, like he's cool, we can dance, like we can approve this. But it was super awkward at first and I had to get through that, which I'm glad that happened. Like at the time, like it felt like my chest was gonna fall out. But
Oh,
like the first few shows, then I stopped caring because I realized like I look dumber being nervous on stage than I do like just not caring and performing. And so that was like probably the most helpful thing ever. And then I went on my own tour and that one was all over the place. Um, like it was the Restless tour, and we'd have some shows with like literally 10 people in the crowd, and then the next show would be like 200. So
wow.
like it would like range a lot depending on where we were. Um, and I say 200, but like at a certain point, I just can't really tell how many people are there.
Yeah.
Just because it could have been less, but like, I'm gonna stick with 200 because I like
It sounds better.
that's and that it felt like it.
Yeah.
Um, except for like Arizona, like I know there was only 50 people there, but yo, they were fucking insane. Like the walls were literally shaking. Like
Wow.
yeah, they were going crazy, and it was like 50 people, max. Like that's probably an exaggeration on that one, but then once Falling blew up, we scheduled this whole tour for 2020. We were gonna do a European tour, uh, a tour throughout the states, and then I was gonna open up for Camila Cabello on her arena tour, which is like
Yeah.
wild.
Sick.
Um, and so we did two like teaser shows for the tour, just to like let people know. So we did the Roxy in LA, that sold out, and we didn't put sold out on the sign because it was above capacity, like way above capacity, and we didn't want the fire marshal to come. Um, but yeah, so that was sick knowing that is what we had to do. Um, and then we did a show in New York at a similar size venue. It was about the same size, and that one sold out. Um, and like, and so we were just like, yo, like this is crazy. Like, so those were the like first times that I performed. But like it's so wild. Like once something's sold out, like the more people that know like my songs and everything, like the less nervous I am. Like the more people that are there. Like small crowds freak me out. Like
Why?
because I could feel their eyes on me. And it's
Okay.
like, you know what I mean? And then
Yeah.
I'm just like, damn. Um, but like, and then I feel like the crowd is half of the show. You know what I mean? Like the just like
The
the crowd
energy.
being in there and the energy, because like I've been to shows where I was like feeling weird or whatever, and then like people around me are just like jumping and shit, and I'm like, all right, I'm being lame. Let me like get off my feet and go. And
Yeah.
then I felt amazing after that.
Yeah.
So sometimes like I feel like the crowd definitely helps people have a great experience too, because it's not just them. They have all these other people that they're just like, yo, like we're all in this bitch just turning up, and it's like, like I
Yeah.
feel like that, yeah. So we're gonna do this. Lala's gonna be the biggest show I ever played so far, and like depending on the crowd sizes throughout all these festivals, but um yeah, I mean, I think Roxy had like 600 people, um, something like that, 700-ish. So, and then Lala, I'm assuming there's going to be thousands. So,
Ooh.
so
Yeah.
it's, I'm excited, but
Nice.
I'm
Which
really
one
excited.
are you most excited for? I'm like looking at where you're gonna be.
Um, I'm excited for all of them, really. Like, I just love performing. Um, I think my, like, more of my friends and stuff are going to be able to pull up to Lala. Um, like and like my mom and stuff. So I'm really excited for that one, but I'm pretty equally excited about all of them just because I feel like um, you know, that's just like off top. Like those are all gonna have tons of people I get to like play in front of and just like jam out with. So it's gonna
Yeah.
be fire.
Festival crowds are the best crowds, in my opinion. I would
Yeah,
much rather go to a music festival than a concert. I love it. Like the vibe is just so different. So I think it's definitely gonna be fun.
I'm
And
excited.
Firefly is a lot of fun. So
I've low key I've been to one festival, um, like Kaboo, but I played like a VIP stage, so there was like 15 people there. Um, but like on the screen across from me, there was like a big ass
Mhm.
screen, and it was showing the other stage. Like,
Oh,
and if I like looked over a little bit, there's like thousands of people
yeah.
in front of this dude, and there's like literally like 15 people like in this VIP stage or whatever. Um, and then I look back up and I'm like performing whatever song I was performing. I'm like, oh shit, like they're right there, and yeah, but and that was dope. Um, but as far as like playing in front of a festival, like this is my first festival, like, and then like yeah, it's the first festival experience that I get to go to like on other days too, and just kind of
You've
see it.
never like been to a music festival like at all?
No, I
Oh.
mean, I was at Kaboo technically, but
But like you didn't
um,
experience it from like a,
right,
oh wow, you're gonna have so
yeah,
much fun.
yeah, it's gonna be tight. I'm really hyped about it because
Yeah.
like we're gonna be busy, but like I've been to South by Southwest, but that one's so different because it's like so many different like smaller stages. It's like a different type of festival. But
No, you need
yeah,
like the festival where there's like you're in the grass or like dirt and like there are
yeah,
thousands of people everywhere and people are laying on the ground and like it's, oh my God, so much fun. You're gonna have a great time. I've never been to Lala, but I've been to Firefly. I planned on going to Lala before the pandemic, but you know,
hell yeah.
so
It's gonna be tight. It's gonna be
yeah,
tight.
yeah, you're gonna have a lot of fun. Um, Before you go, I wanted to ask you about new music. I know you touched on it a little bit earlier, but can you tell us anything about like the new music that you have coming out and like features?
Yeah, so yeah, Julia was the only feature I decided to put on this project. Um, but and we tried to do some other features and everything, but the songs just have to hit, you know. They gotta like feel right. And then yeah, like this project outside of Fingers Crossed and like a couple other ones, I think it's really gonna be interesting to see how people react. Um, because
Why?
because I usually talk about like super sad shit, um, like or or like happy shit. Like it's either like one or
There's
the other,
no
but
in
it
between.
and it's always like about a girl or something, right? But there was a few songs that I just kind of like made with my friends, like messing around and like not being serious at all and just like flexing and like saying like like bars and shit. Like there was this one um that we were like listening to a lot of like old Lil Wayne shit where like he just had all these bars and we were just like, bro, what the hell? So we went in and we were just like trying to come up with the like craziest flows and like and shit like that. And then yeah, and I like I curse in some of my songs, but I don't curse like that much. There's like a couple of these songs where I just like I'm really interested to see like what my grandma says.
Oh
Like
no.
yeah, I don't know how that's gonna go, but
Aw.
she probably won't care. Um, we'll find out.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's like a few songs where like we were just having fun, didn't expect to like drop it or anything, but they're just so hard, like in my opinion, like I was like, yo, this is definitely not like what people expect, but it was so fun making it.
Mhm.
Like like I feel like you can hear it too. And it's just also like I'm trying not to take myself too serious all the time. Like that's boring. Like I like telling like my stories and stuff and like being like really like showing emotion and everything. It's kind of like it helps me get things out. But um I also like to have fun too, you know what I mean? Like I like to like there's a time and place for like every type of song. And
Yeah.
like, I'm not 100% emotional all the time. Sometimes I'm just like turning up with my friends, like being dumb as hell. And
Yeah.
like I think that's important too, because those are the times that like when I really need to be with my friends and like hang out and like just not care about anything and just say and do dumb shit. Like it's like those are important too, because you leave that situation feeling refreshed and everything. So yeah.
Yeah. Nice. So it sounds like we're gonna get to see, I guess, like a different side of you. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, it'll definitely be interesting. I'm excited for it.
Yeah. I'm excited too. I'm really excited to see what everyone thinks. So
Yeah. When is it? Do you have a date for it yet?
so there's multiple dates because I know I didn't feed everybody for like a year because I was like in this weird ass headspace. I didn't know what to do. But like, yeah, so there's like there's only 8 songs on this project. Like, I don't know if that one, if I'm allowed to say that, but whatever. There's only 8 songs on this project, but I want to treat every song like an individual project a little bit,
Mhm.
um, and really just build out like the visual side of it so people can really understand where I want to go. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And kind of understand like this like the visual side of how I like see what I'm hearing in the music. And just kind of help them like step into it a little more. But also just like so I just feel like singling it out and treating each thing as an individual project with like all the content and like content, but you know what I mean? Like different little pieces that like can like branch out from the song and like tell the story and just help people connect to it. I feel like that's really gonna that's a big part of this project. And then like so I'm singling everything out. And then after this project, um, there's like a full album.
Yay.
Like yeah, so
Nice. I'm excited for that too.
hell
Yeah.
yeah.
It's gonna be This is gonna be great. I would love to like have you back on once the one that's coming out drops, and then once your album drops, that would be
Yeah.
cool. And just kind of get like pick your brain on those songs. Yeah.
Hell yeah, that'd be dope. I'm down.
Yay. All right. Well, thank you so much for being on. Is there anything else you want to say? Anything you want to shout out?
I'm chilling. Yeah, sad now doesn't mean sad forever, you know? That's the album name. And it's also what I've been living by for the past year. So yeah, turn out.
Nice.
Shout out Julia Michaels.
Yes. Thank you for listening to this episode of Time Out, and be sure to subscribe, rate, and share the podcast on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and wherever you listen to podcasts. Also, be sure to follow us at SWGRUS on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.